It's the Unhappy Hour.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles to be specific. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Unhappy Hour here at the TNAM Radio Network at thenewamericanmedia.com. My name's Brian Engelman. I'm your host, as I've been for the past 5 years. Thanks for checking us out. Tell your friends if they like sports. Tell them if they like interesting content. I don't know. We have about 2,800 subscribers and 600,000 video views on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/thenewamericanmedia. So go check that out. Check out some previous content and leave your commentary. We cover spirituality and metaphysics and artificial intelligence and religion and spirituality and comedy and Congress and freedom and firearms and sports. Everything, really. We just like to have good conversations with people, and we're going to bring in former NBA scout, current NBA consultant Zach Barris today. Talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, who looked really good against the Clippers today. Man, did they look good. The team that played today is a team that could contend for a title. Now, can they keep it consistent? Can they stay healthy? All right, those are the questions, but man, they're looking so much better. They've laid quite a few eggs this year, but it's looking good. Plus, we're going to kind of split today's show up into two parts, and we're also going to talk about the Cleveland Browns. Johnny Manziel is gone. He has been cut, and guess what? He's cleared waivers. No other team has picked him up. So, if you want to kind of think about how the rest of the league looks at the Cleveland Browns and Johnny Manziel in particular, we'll talk about that, plus Tayshaun Gibson, Alex Mack, Johnson Badamosi, Mitchell Schwartz, Travis Benjamin, and more, all leaving the team. You know, that might be a kind of rough thing. But hey, you know what? It's new management over there. You got to give them a chance to cycle through the roster. It's going to take a few years, a free agent, purging of people, and drafts, trades, free agent signings, what have you. So I'm all about letting the process work. So real quick, if you're not linked up with us in all of our social media areas, you need to do so on Instagram, The New American Media. Check that one out. We're putting a lot of great memes up there. A lot of great stuff. The New American Media on Instagram. On Twitter, we're at American_media_. And on Facebook, you can do a search for The New American Media with spaces in between. Those are also on the homepage, thenewamericanmedia.com. So link up, do that thing, have a good time with it. So let's get to Zach Barris and talk some sports. I feel like it's been forever. And I feel that way because we keep rescheduling, trying to find the right day and the right time.
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
I'm living the dream, Zach. How are you doing?
I'm exhausted.
You're exhausted. You're mentally exhausted from watching the Cavs rain down threes today? Is that what it is?
I just got back from Boston last night, so it was a long week.
Yeah.
And then I went out, and then, the stupid time change, so I was up until 4:45 a.m.
I used to love that as a bartender. When it would kick over and you get that extra hour of tips,
Exactly.
like my
You
favorite.
wanted the hour, the other way, not daylight savings, not how it currently is, the other way.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, 6 months from
last
now.
night as a bartender, if you're open until 4 a.m., you would walk Boston over.
Yeah, it's always interesting. But now I think people are feeling it a little bit less with so many of their alarm clocks being cell phones that automatically update as opposed to the bedside ones. You got to manually change the time, and the clocks on the wall, you got to go in there and set them.
It's nice. I just got a new car a couple weeks ago, and I went to go in the car to go change the clocks when I was like, oh, it's already changed.
And it made you breakfast, and it was massaging your shoulders on your way to work.
It does have a Wi-Fi network, but no, it does not make me breakfast.
There's a few more jokes I could make there, but I think we'll skip past it. But anyway.
No, it was great, though. Then I had to go over and change the microwave, the oven, and then my parents' house to go change their clock. So.
There's a good commercial. I don't know who the heck it's for, maybe Verizon or something, but it shows the kids going to grandma and grandpa's place. Like, yo, so happy to see you. And the grandparents just shove like their tablet and their laptop and go, these aren't working. Can you fix them?
Yeah, welcome to my life. My parents' new house today. I was over fixing the TVs because my mom and my stepdad couldn't figure out the cable boxes. So when all they needed to do was be reset real quick. So
yeah,
and teaching your mom how to use Netflix on a smart TV is a pain in the ass. But it was a funny day.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, gotta love it. Well, the Cavs have been a team that has been very schizophrenic this year. They've gone through head coaching changes, and they've laid quite a few eggs throughout the season. And today, they looked great.
You watch a game like today, and you go, okay, this team's ready to take on Golden State. This team's ready for the playoffs. You watch in the last couple of games, okay. But they're going to put a thought in there one of the games. They're going to play and lose by 20 against a crappy team because they do it every night. They do it every couple of nights. But it just makes you think that this team really turns it on. I think Channing Frye has been a huge addition to this basketball team. I think he's making a huge difference. I mean, he's shooting 46% from threes since he's come to the Cavs, and I think it's on 47 attempts or 37 attempts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Greg Moore was putting out there. He posted on Twitter. He's like, "Does Channing Frye ever miss?" I think his shooting percentage is .997.
Again,
kind of kidding.
They just need to find ways to get him in the lineup every day. He's producing.
Well, he was sitting on the bench when he first got here.
The game with Orlando went through a youth movement, wasn't playing as much.
Right.
When he deserved more playing time. Orlando wasn't necessarily going for a playoff spot this season. They're going youth movement to see what they have on their roster. Orlando has a ton of cap space going into next year now. And, I don't blame them for not playing an older 32-year-old guy. But, Cleveland, when he wants to put up 15, 20 points any given night, he's able to do it. The guy can score. And he can sure as hell shoot the basketball.
Man, he can shoot. Is he that Ray Allen type?
He's a hell of a shooter.
Well, is he that Ray Allen type player that we haven't really had, that we were hoping
Ray
James
Allen,
Jones would be?
You can't compare Ray Allen and Channing Frye. Ray Allen is the greatest shooter of all time.
No, of course. In the last year of his
but
career, yes, sure, but Channing Frye is just absolutely lighting it up. It seems like the catch and shoot kind of dynamic works perfect for his game. And what I'm seeing out of the Cavs, something I'm not sure if you've noticed and maybe where it came from, if you could give us some information, but they're driving and penetrating, kicking it out to the three, and there's that second pass.
That's what they're good at. The thing is, honestly, what the Cavaliers are good at, they've got a bunch of good three-point shooters. Great three-point shooters. You've got J.R. Smith who can shoot the three. You've got Kyrie. You've got Dellavedova. Suddenly LeBron's starting to make his threes too. It's starting to seem like.
Well, the second pass is the thing I'm noticing. They drive and they penetrate. They kick it out, and it's as soon as somebody collapses on defense, they're kicking it to the extra person who's totally wide open.
When they have great ball movement, the team is not going to lose. When the ball movement's like it was today, when it was like they scored 100 points plus in seven games in a row now.
And
that's impressive.
How much of that is Tyronn Lue?
I don't know how much it is Tyronn Lue. Don't forget this team had a better record under David Blatt than they have under Tyronn Lue this season.
That is true.
Smaller
sample size, but yeah.
Well, if Lue wins his next game, though, it'll be even. So, but what I'm getting at though is that the Cavaliers are a team capable of beating the crap out of any team in the league, really, on any given night. We watched it with the Spurs a couple weeks ago when they beat them by 17.
Yeah.
And they manhandled them. I'm not saying they're going to go out there and kick the Warriors' ass because I don't think they're capable. I don't think anybody's capable of doing that. But can they beat Golden State on any given night? Yes, they can.
Yeah.
When they play their A game, they can beat Golden State. If they play their A game, they're going to beat Golden State. We witnessed it last year in 2 games in the finals. Is Golden State much better than they were a year ago? No. Don't forget, people realize they won 67 games a year ago. They're not that much better than they were a year ago. They really aren't. They're a very good basketball team.
That record's sitting at 59-6, though. That's 59-6.
Historically, they're the best team ever. And do I think they could beat the 95-96 Bulls? Let me when I say this. Yes. Not because they're a more talented team. I think the Bulls were a more talented team. But, however, when you take a look at how the game has changed from then to today, the Bulls didn't shoot that many threes. Don't forget, the Showtime Lakers drained under 100 threes in a season.
Yeah, the game is very different.
The game has evolved so much over the last 15, 20 years, 30 years. Don't forget, in the early 80s, we weren't even talking, there was no three-point line. That's why the game used to revolve around a big center because what was the easiest way to score points?
Yeah.
Around a big dominating center who could shoot the ball inside. You didn't need a guy like a Steph Curry. Steph Curry would have been, why would you have needed Steph Curry 30 years ago in the NBA? what would you need a sharpshooter for who's only going to shoot a bunch of 2-pointers? You know what I mean?
Right,
A
super
and
long
Klay Thompson,
2-pointer.
These guys would have been completely ineffective 30 years ago, but it's totally different now.
Do you like it? You think it's an improvement for the game overall?
I think the 3-point shot's a great improvement for the game. It's just amazing to see how the game's evolved into being a big, slow, pounded and grinded basketball game, inside scoring to a bunch of outside shooting and small ball fast lineups. I mean, really look at it. I mean, don't forget, we still look at the Bulls. I mean, the 95-96 Bulls were the most talented team ever. There's no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind. When you had Scottie Pippen, you had Michael Jordan, you had Tony Kukoc. Just going through that roster, you had guys like Butch, Judd Bushler, Steve Kerr. You had guys that could shoot the three. B.J. Armstrong. You had Dennis Rodman. I mean, that team was unbelievable. Luke Longley. I mean, you go through those Bulls teams in the mid '90s, and still to this day, I don't think anybody could beat them. Now, if you let the Bulls go and watch film and see how the game's evolved, the Bulls could adapt. That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
but if you just threw today's Golden State team against the 95-96 Bulls without watching film, Golden State would obviously have a huge advantage. Their coach played for the Bulls.
Right.
And, and you've been able to watch so much film on them, so of course you'd have a massive advantage.
Yeah.
But, looking at it, I really think that Golden State, if you took it that, Golden State would beat them. But obviously, if they had time to prepare for each other, and the Bulls get to see how today's game is adapted, I think Chicago would beat them. But looking how the game has evolved, Golden State is historically the best team ever.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they cannot be beat. I mean, do I think San Antonio stands a shot against them in the playoffs? No, I really don't.
Really?
Antonio. Here's the thing: San Antonio plays big. San Antonio. When are San Antonio at their best? When they play big. When they've got Aldridge on the floor, when they've got Duncan, and but I think San Antonio is a very good basketball team. I think they're an incredible basketball team, but I just don't see them. One, I think if Cleveland's on their A game, Cleveland beats them easily. And I think, two, if Golden State plays like they should, Golden State's going to kill them.
Yeah, if they're playing up to their expectations.
San Antonio, I just don't think San Antonio can shoot I don't think San Antonio can shoot the three ball that well.
And of course,
I think that's the problem. I think Golden State plays too faster. I mean, if you look at all of San Antonio's losses this year, they're against teams playing faster and smaller than they are.
I was watching the Cavs today, Zach, and by the way, Zach's on Twitter at ZBears.
By the way, did you go to the game?
No. Long story.
Come on, Brian.
Long story. I was reserving the opportunity to go to the game. Something was lined up, and then it did not line up how it was.
Should have called me.
Well,
I would have made a request for you.
All right. Well,
Next time.
Here, I'm going to make an ongoing request through you anytime the Cavs are on the West Coast. You can just put it in and know that I was thinking about going. We'll just leave it at that. I'll put an open-ended request in. But, I was watching the Cavs, and, you're watching JR shoot lights out. You're watching Channing Frye shoot lights out. You're watching Tristan with his rebounds. You're watching Dellavedova playing good defense and knocking in a three. And then out of nowhere, Kyrie Irving comes through and does some razzle-dazzle. And then you got LeBron James go down the lane and throw down a dunk. And you almost forget LeBron is on the team when they're playing their best because there's a lot of good players there.
And here's the thing, too. Kevin Love is not the problem with this basketball team. Every time Kyrie Irving's out of the lineup, he's dominant. Dominant. Kyrie Irving is the one who needs to adapt his game. It's not Kevin Love. It's Kyrie Irving.
Interesting.
Again, if the Cavaliers would have somehow pulled the trigger on a Kyrie Irving-Chris Paul trade at the deadline, the Cavaliers would be unbeatable. Unbeatable. I still think if the Cavaliers don't win, it will be explored in the offseason. Mark my words.
Wow. So maybe
Mark my words.
So maybe Kyrie, because he's still a young kid. He's learning the nuances of the game.
Kyrie is a young kid. I mean, he's been incredibly steady his entire career, but Chris Paul would get this team a championship. Mark my words on that one.
And it's not impossible for Kyrie to step it up and get it and do it right by any stretch.
Not at all. Don't forget, Chris Paul is a big-time scorer his first couple of years in the league, too. Chris Paul adapted his game. Chris Paul doesn't score as much as he doesn't need to.
Right.
When Chris Paul needs to score, Chris Paul scores. That's what Kyrie needs to realize. Kyrie can be a distributor just like Chris Paul. He really can. A lot of his early game in the NBA resembles a lot of Chris Paul. So, that's something to take a look at. But, getting to it, when the Cavaliers are on, there's still, you take a look at their talent, they can match Golden State talent. They can. There's no doubt in my mind they can.
I mean, this game today was between 15 and 20 point Cav advantage most of the game, 10 and 20 point lead. And they didn't. Every time I was watching them, every series and just through the quarters as I watched this whole game, that's all I kept thinking. Zach, was this team that showed up today. This team can beat the Warriors. I'm not saying it's a shoe-in or a lock, but this version of the Cavs could beat them and win a championship.
The thing is, you watch how hard they play in the playoffs last year.
Right, they're saving it. They're saving some of it.
They're saving. You know they are. I mean, they're not. They're not fooling. They're fooling the national media. They're not fooling me. I mean, Stephen A. Smith can talk out of his ass every single day, and I personally wish the guy would get hit by a train. He's just an idiot who talks out of his ass. And
but tell me how you really feel, Zach.
The only reason he even has a job with ESPN is because he guessed that LeBron was going back to Miami. When he said that LeBron didn't even know he was going to Miami. Trust me on that one.
All right. Well, don't make me think about
those
years.
Yes. I'm just saying, he made a guess. LeBron is not leaving a second time. Where the hell is LeBron going to go? His legacy is completely tarnished. You heard even Adrian Wojnarowski shoot down the idea the other day, too. He said, absolutely not. Stephen A. Smith is just trying to rise on people. He's like Skip Bayless. They're on a show together. God forbid they say something that happens. The people watch Stephen A. Smith not for his news. It's for his entertainment value. I don't find he has any. That's why I don't watch him. I don't follow the guy on Twitter. I don't do anything with Stephen A. I think he's an idiot.
ESPN, did you happen to see that they fired Mike Ditka after he came out and said Obama was the worst president he's seen and he's backing Trump, so ESPN fires Mike Ditka?
Yeah, I saw that. I mean,
it's an interesting network they have over there. Very interesting network.
You should be able to have your own political beliefs. I mean, am I a Donald Trump fan? No. But do I have my own political beliefs? Yes. And I think you should be able to believe in what you want to believe in a candidate. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Everybody today, if you're not so PC, people get on you about not being PC. I think it's ridiculous.
It is. And it's not like Dick was using his television show to spout his beliefs.
People are supposed to be entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah.
Just because you don't believe in something doesn't make you a bad person. Do I agree with everything? I disagree with most of the stuff he says. But, he's entitled to his own opinion. And if he doesn't support something, that's fine. It's fine by me.
Yeah, it's tricky.
He's not sitting there preaching hate. I don't agree with what he says in a lot of things, but, especially with the history of evolution and everything and him not believing that, that's fine. I mean, if he doesn't want to believe it, he doesn't want to believe it. Do I think he's an idiot for it? Yeah, but that shouldn't, he says things. I mean, guys say things all the time. I think you should be able to support whatever candidate you want to support.
Yeah, it's a scary place we're getting to, where your beliefs and the things that make you who you are can also just get you fired for no reason. It's pretty disturbing.
It's scary to think about.
It is, and to we've seen what ESPN has pushed with their agenda. Obviously, super promoting Michael Sam, super promoting Caitlyn Jenner, all of the racial stories and the specials that they've done. And all the times that race is injected into stories, where a lot of times many people say it has nothing to do with that. It's clear that ESPN has a political agenda. It's just you have to buy into their political agenda, or else you get fired. And that's just that's really hypocritical. That's ridiculous to me.
Well, that's where it's gotten ridiculous in my mind too. It's just again, you don't have to believe what these guys believe, but at the same point, they're entitled to their own opinion, and they can support whoever they want.
That's what I hope for.
I don't agree with a lot of the stuff Donald Trump says. I think Donald Trump's talking out of his ass. I don't even think Donald Trump believes half the stuff he says. I really don't. But
they're politicians. They say what they think other people want them to say,
Again, but people are allowed to believe what they want to believe, and if that's what you believe, that's fine. I mean, do I agree with, would I vote for Bernie Sanders? No way.
I would love to see Bernie take out Hillary Clinton for sure. I wanted no Bush and no Clinton. If as long as Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton are out of the race, you know what? I almost kind of don't care what happens. Just as long as it's not a Bush or a Clinton. We don't need another fully entrenched oligarch, the kings and queens and family rulers.
For Hill Dog.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. I would legitimately rather start punching myself in the face if it guaranteed that she would not become a nominee or God forbid the president. But that's the difference between the New American Media and then ABC Disney Media. When the edicts come from on high, and politics is something that is overtly and covertly shoved down people's throats. Let them pretend that they're not who they are. At least I'm going to say who I am. That's what we try to do at the New American Media. Allow
I'm not a
different
Bernie
opinions.
fan, I'm not a Hillary fan, I'm not a Trump fan. I don't like Ted Cruz either. The only candidate I really like this election is John Kasich. That's about it.
Yeah, once again, I wish I could do Build-A-Bear. I wish I could do, like Mr. Potato Head and pick a couple of the qualities that I like of these candidates and put them into one super candidate. I look at all of their bodies of work, and I'm just having a hard time saying that's my person, that's my candidate.
I've never seen an election where there's just someone I just couldn't get on board with, and this is literally it. And Kasich really has no chance, but he's the only candidate I really like.
Well, you know what? They're going for that brokered convention, though. They're going for the brokered convention, and Cleveland could be chaos, Zach. It could be chaos this summer.
I know. It's funny though, because my dad's a big time Democrat. I think it's funny. My mom's side, they're all Republicans. My dad's side, they're all Democrats. And I go to my dad and my stepmom, and I go, so Hillary or Bernie? And they go, neither. And I go, what? They go, no, it's Kasich. And I was like, what? They go, yeah, we're registered Republicans now. And I go, what? So if Kasich doesn't win, you're going to vote for Cruz or Trump? They go, no. They go, we're not taking it that far.
So interesting. So interesting. Yeah, and people have wondered for a while if Donald Trump was a Hillary plant just to divide the party. I don't think that the political insiders realized that Trump was going to do this well. I think they've been surprised over and
I don't
over.
think Trump realized he was going to do this well. We look at this campaign when Trump held the first debate in Cleveland. Hillary already had 155 people on her staff that are on her campaign staff working for her at that point. Do you know how many Donald Trump had on his campaign staff? 16.
Wow.
He wasn't making a serious run at the White House during the first debate. I don't think he was making a serious run. I think a lot of people just got behind him really quickly.
When he survived that John McCain line, and then the Mexicans that rapists are coming over, which they are, not all of them. Just there are rapists that have snuck over the border.
Again, he says some things. He just takes everything too far.
Yeah,
that's his problem. He takes everything too far.
Yeah, well, in politics and in ratings, he's the Stephen A. Smith of 2016 presidential politics, perhaps.
Yeah, he's really the Skip Bayless.
He's the Skip Bayless of 2016 presidential politics. All right, Zach, let's do this. Let's make a hard pivot here, do a quick reset, and do a little segment on the Cleveland Browns. Johnny Manziel's gone, Tayshaun Gibson, Alex Mack, Johnson Badamosi, Mitchell Schwartz, Travis Benjamin, and more, all flooded out the door, and the Browns have just not signed anybody. So we'll talk about that and more on the other side. I'm Brian Engelman. This is the Unhappy Hour. Make sure you're following Zach on Twitter at ZBaris. That's ZBARIS. And here come the Cleveland Browns.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
And this is John B. Wells reminding you that not only is Brian Engelman a cool guy, and not only is the NewAmericanMedia.com a very cool platform, but here's a cool idea for you, too. Are you alone? Not really. Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? You do. Of course you do. Everybody does. One or the other, maybe even both. There are a lot of dogs and cats that are at shelters right now, and if somebody doesn't take them home, they're going to wind up euthanized. That's a nice way of saying they're going to be killed, because there's simply not enough room. I guarantee it, the best dogs and the best cats, the best pets, come from shelters. There's something about dogs and cats. They know. They know where they are. You walk through one of them, and certainly at least one is going to look at you and go, I wish you'd take me home. I'm in hell. Please take me out of here. It'll be the best thing that you ever did for your soul. You'll feel good about it. And not only that, but you have a friend for life. Doesn't matter if you got money, you don't have money. Well, it doesn't make any difference to a dog or cat. All they need is the sound of your voice and maybe even the stroke of your hand, and they're fine. Maybe a little food every once in a while. The sweetest sound that those pets ever hear is your voice. Think it over and adopt a cat or a dog from a local shelter today. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did.